Hey there, David Gordon from TheaterMania here. It is Wednesday, November 18th. I'm here with Benjamin Bradley, aka Mr. Christmas, star and mastermind behind the new Netflix series Holiday Home Makeovers with Mr. Christmas. Hi, Mr. Christmas, Benjamin Bradley. How are you?
I'm well, David. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
My pleasure. Thank you for talking to me. I was telling you before we went live, we're Jews, but I feel like Christmas is our favorite holiday, even though we've got the menorah in the window. And I know from watching the show that it's your favorite holiday too.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm pretty much up for all holidays. I mean, I'm pretty game on all of them. But no, I mean, yeah, Christmas has always been, and has never failed me yet. So I assume it always will be my favorite holiday. So yeah, we're going with it.
Tell me about what the show is for the people watching. Tell us what the show is and how it came to be.
So it really is. It's a Netflix show, and it came about because it's sort of a blend of. Some people have sort of compared it to Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. It's really about. It's a home decorating show. It's a reality show or a non-scripted show, but it's about trying to really connect with the families, find out what they're struggling with, whether it is just the decorations, whether it is traditions, whether it is another family member, whatever the situation might be, and try and come up with a way that they can either view the holidays or decorate for the holidays that gives them a fresh take on it, sort of thing. So it's not just decorating, it's not just lights and ornaments, it's really about finding the heart of the holiday for these people. And so that's kind of the crux of the whole sort of show. So
how did you get into this to begin with?
Well, I'm an interior designer by trade. I've always loved Christmas. It has always been a thing for me from little on. And we throw an annual Christmas party, and we have for 30 years. I think we've missed 2 years out of the whole thing. And a friend of mine 2 years ago came to me, and he owns a production company, and he said, "Look, I think I have this idea." He's like, "Everybody wants content. Christmas sells. Christmas would be a great thing. I think nobody does Christmas better than you. Would you think about it?" And I said, "Sure." So that was 2 years ago. Then, so January he came, he brought a crew to the house. We did what I now know is a sizzle reel because I had no idea what any of this was. And we did it, and he shopped it around, and a few networks were interested, and Netflix ended up being the ones who grabbed it. So yeah, who knew? First time out. And so, yeah, had no idea what I was doing. No idea about schedules, no idea what line producers were, showrunners. I had none of that stuff. So anyway, but it was great fun.
What is it like to suddenly become immersed in that world and to suddenly become like a TV personality?
Today is the day that it drops. And so it's been interesting. There's a lot of binging going on my phone, a lot of messages, a lot of things. I've always just live my life where I just get up and do what I need to do that day, like most of us. And so it doesn't register. I found the business to be incredibly, my business is all about planning and having a plan and having blueprints and having, schedules and stuff. That business is so frenetic, and it's like, oh, this changes and that changes and we can't do this and the lights went out. Let's try this. And, on film in 2 seconds. And yeah, it is such a different, they're both creative fields, but it is so different. I can't even begin to tell you. So yeah.
Tell me about, for the people watching at home, tell me about some of the families that you're working with. I know there's one family where someone's trying to impress like a mother/mother-in-law.
That was the first one. And I have to tell you, she really grew on me. The mother is Bajan by descent, and she's got this very strong work ethic. She loves Christmas. That is her thing, and there's nobody going to take it away from her. Well, her daughter would like to host Christmas this year. So that was the real thing. It was like trying to pry the holidays out of Angela's hands. And I kind of get it. I mean, I understood who Angela was. I'm that same sort of thing, and I'm OCD and that whole sort of thing. But she just had this really funny personality. So that's one family. We're trying to sort of recreate and give them a home that they can host the holidays in. So that was one of the episodes. There's 4 episodes in total. We worked with a really large, boisterous, wonderful extended Italian family that the youngest daughter is getting married and will soon be, no longer part of the nuclear family. And so this was sort of their last Christmas together. And it was about welcoming that fiance in, as well as sort of a send off for the daughter sort of thing. And also too, that mother was, everybody was just tired of the way the mother designed the Christmas decorations. And so without stepping on too many toes, we tried to do that. And there's a firehouse, a municipal building, which was really challenging because the firehouse, you know, at the other homes, we asked the families to leave.
Right.
Obviously, you can't ask the firemen to leave. You know, like the community needs them. So in order to try and have a successful reveal or to work around them while it's a constant thing. But I mean, a great group of guys. I didn't realize that like 95% of the firefighters in this country are volunteer. I had no idea. So they had lost a captain of that firehouse the previous year, and he was sort of the Santa Claus of that firehouse, and he was the one who always decorated and sort of brought the joy to the thing. So his son called us in to sort of help them out with that. So that's what the crux of that episode is. And then we did the sort of blended family where we have the Christian father and the Jewish mother, and they're raising their sons who were hysterical as it's as a Jewish household, but you know, the father has wonderful memories of Christmas. And so we were trying to sort of have them live peacefully side by side. So yeah, so you know, it was one of the things I said, look, I'm thrilled to do this, but I know many reality shows operate on drama. And I said, you know, the holidays have enough drama. There's too much family, there's too much sugar, and there's too much alcohol and all the whole thing. But I said, I really don't want to have that on the show. If you're going to settle in for an evening during this busy time, I'd really like you to have an escape and kind of have a laugh and, you know, feel good about it. So there's no real drama. So that's good.
It's like the British baking show. It's just people being nice and like decorating.
Exactly. You know, the worst thing that happens is your souffle falls. Big deal. Right. You know, it's like
yeah. Are you excited to watch it?
I am excited to watch it. Actually, we're going to have a small little watch party this evening, so we'll see. That's probably as close as I'm going to get to it. And we've asked, you know, because this is close friends and family, so I don't expect any terrible reactions. But that's probably as close as I'm going to get to want to listen to any kind of reactions, because I know it can be brutal out there. That's what I hear. So I'm probably not going to check into a whole lot of social media after it airs.
I was going to say this. I didn't realize that this is your first time doing something like this.
Yeah, completely. I literally had just absolutely no idea what this whole world was. So yeah, it's
yeah,
all new.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you about decorating tips, like your top decorating tips. My wife and I live in an apartment. We do want to like string lights or something from the little terrace that we have. Like, what do we like? What do we do? What do I look? How do I don't know how to do any of this.
Well, my first rule is always that, you know, if you think you need one strand of lights, buy 5. If you need a dozen flowers, buy 5 dozen flowers. I mean, more is more. That's always, to me, the holidays, whether it is Hanukkah, whether it is Kwanzaa, whether it's Christmas, it's about abundance. You know, I mean, nobody wants to go to a holiday party where there's 3 beers and a bowl of potato chips. You know, it's like, that doesn't say festive or exciting or anything like that. So you got to have a lot. So whatever you do it in abundance. You know, if that is at all possible. I love your idea of having a terrace, though, because somebody asked me the other day, they said, well, what do we do if we have a small New York apartment? I said, put your tree on your terrace. If you're lucky enough to have a terrace, put your tree or your lights or whatever out there. You still get to enjoy them from the inside, and it doesn't take up an ounce of floor space. But yeah, and then I think people get really sort of overwhelmed when they think about decorating. It's like, oh, I don't know where to start. Pick a spot. You know, I mean, if you're going to do Christmas, focus on the Christmas tree. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a Hallmark movie where you literally throw lights on everything that doesn't move. Just put up the tree and focus it all there, or put a garland on a bookcase and focus it there. Or in the case of Hanukkah, you know, focus on the menorah and then the Hanukkah table sort of thing. You know, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go crazy and try and come up with these wild and crazy themes. I mean, nothing says Christmas more than a red bow on a green wreath sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, it can be pretty easy. So,
because I feel like everybody is conditioned to watch something like Miracle on 34th Street or like any of those Christmas movies, and they see the ostentatious everything.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, and it's true. I mean, and it's what we're fed even now, you know, between Lifetime and Hallmark, which are great fun. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's, you know, you can't have more cups of cocoa shoved in your hand than they do in a Hallmark movie. I mean, it's like it's all that people drink is hot cocoa sort of thing. It's like, so yeah, there is. I think that's the thing with the holidays, and I think that's why a lot of people, if you're not like me and you don't revel in it, it's because you think there's so many expectations. We've been pushed upon that there are so many. Yeah, you just have these expectations that it is going to be Miracle on 34th Street. And as we all know, it's rarely that, but we continue year after year, as masochistic as it seems, to continue to try and come up with the idea that it is going to be Miracle on 34th Street. So,
and nothing you do is ever going to look as good as.
No, never, but, and that's the other thing too, I mean, as a creative person, that's taken me years to kind of understand too, is that, whether it was me trying to sew a sport coat or decorating a house or doing a Christmas tree or whatever, you have to leave room for the human hand. You have to leave room for the fact that a human being created this. It was a machine created, and it's imperfect, and you have to love it for its imperfection, and you move on, so.
How do you deal with, and I don't know if you have an answer to this question, but we have 2 cats, and if we wanted to theoretically put up a Christmas tree, they would try and climb branches to get
a scratching pole.
Right, exactly. Is there a way to deal with that? Do you get something synthetic? Do you put a gate around it?
The thing is, it's hard. It's almost like deer in a yard. I mean, you aren't going to get, a fence or a gate isn't going to keep a cat away from it. They're just going to go right up that fence and go big deal sort of thing. So actually, my old business partner, he had a cat, and that cat would just climb the interior of the tree, and he has actually a really wonderful picture of the cat just sort of peeking out of the branches. I don't think you're going to keep him away. I think you have to sort of think about maybe non-breakable ornaments. Certainly don't put tinsel on your tree, because that, of course, is poisonous, and with hairballs and stuff like that is not a good thing. So you have to be a little more careful about what you put on the tree, but I don't think you're going to keep that cat from going up the tree. It's too big. It's like kids and presents, it's just too much of a draw. There's no way.
If someone wants to have one decoration in their house, is it simple? Is it a wreath on the door? What is your top? If someone comes in to you and says, I can only afford one, or I only have room for one thing, what is it?
I would say yes, either a live evergreen wreath, a really wonderful scented candle, because I think, I say it over and over again, but I like the sights and the sounds and the smells of Christmas. So I like the whole sort of scenario, but I think if you could key in on one thing, so a wreath to me would be the sight, the smell would be, a candle or something baking in the oven, and then, Christmas carols, the first strain of a Johnny Mathis album, or sadly, a lot of your viewers won't even know who that is, but, I said something the other day to somebody about Perry Como, and they went, "Who?" I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't know what else to say to you. So
yeah, and it's funny. I'm not a candle person, and yet people are just starting to send us candles, because I guess it's a holiday season gift.
Yeah, actually, it sort of hits that perfect thing of, okay, well, it's not too Christmassy, it's not too not Christmassy. It kind of smells good. It burns. It goes away. You don't have to keep it forever. It hits the right price point for a gift, and it's it's the perfect gift. So
yeah. Benjamin Bradley, thank you for your time.
Oh my gosh, absolutely! I loved talking to you about this whole thing. It's great fun, and thank you for having an interest and for supporting the show. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. It's a delight, and everybody at home, Holiday Home Makeovers with Mr. Christmas. It's on Netflix as of today. I highly recommend it. It's a real feel-good delight as we get into the holidays. Be well.
Merry Christmas. Well, happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, and bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.